Good evening, all. Warm welcome to one and all for being here with us today. It gives me an immense pleasure to be the part of this historic occasion, the centennial function of CASA BAMBINI, successfully completing the 100 years. In this proud moment, let us thank Maria Montessori, who lightened the lamp of education for children with her own ideas and vision. In this occasion, we have the delegates who are running Montessori schools successfully in different parts of India is joining with us today. With all respect, I request the delegates to sign into our function.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly. Fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la. Stormy now our gay apparel. Fa la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol. Fa la 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 la.
Hearty welcome to our function. Now we have the directresses from different Montessori schools are here to be the part of our function. So I request them for signing into our function. A warm welcome to our function. Now we have a wonderful talent team who will be there to entertain you throughout our program. So I welcome the talent team to sign into our function. Once again, I welcome you all to our function. Now, in this occasion, we should have a look back into the histories of Maria Montessori, her Montessori school, and also the prepared environment directress in a Montessori school. So let's have a look into the histories once.
CASA de Bambini, also known as Children's House, a preschool for children around 3 to 6 years old, founded by Dr. Maria Montessori. Who was this woman who began an educational revolution that changed the way we think about the children more than anyone before? Maria Montessori was born in 1870 in a small village in Italy called Chiaraville. Her father was a civil service accountant and her mother was a educated lady, because it was quite rare for those days because women were not encouraged to study. And from a very young age, Maria Montessori showed a great level of intelligence. Maria wanted to study the male-dominated field of medicine. After being initially refused, with the endorsement of Pope, Maria was eventually given entry to the University of Rome in 1890, becoming one of the first women in medical school in Italy. Despite facing many obstacles due to her gender, Maria was qualified as a doctor in 1896. She went on to become the first woman doctor in Italy, which was a great accomplishment in those days. In 1897, Maria joined a research program at the psychiatric clinic of the University of Rome as a volunteer. This work initiated a deep interest in the needs of children with learning disabilities. She was quite disturbed, and she had all questions in mind. How can I help these children? Therefore, she looked into the works of Jean Itard and Edouard Seguin. They were two French doctors who believed in the education of deviated children. Maria Montessori shared the conviction that medicine was not the answer, but rather it. She shared this idea at 1899 Pedagogical Congress. As a result, she became the directress of Orthophrenic Clinic, a school for mentally challenged, in 1899-1901. Dr. Maria Montessori worked tirelessly observing them, analyzing results, and developing new materials. In 1901, she gave up her work in the clinic and returned to the university to study psychology and philosophy. She was also a lecturer in the University of Rome in 1904. At this period, she also continued her study of Jean Itard and Seguin's work. Having developed a method of teaching for intellectually disabled children, Montessori now wanted to apply it to those without learning disabilities. In 1906, she was offered a room in an apartment building in a slum-ridden area in San Lorenzo district of Rome. The parents in this area were not able to take care of the young children as they had to work during the day. It was there that she founded the first CASA de Bambini. What ultimately became the Montessori method of education developed there, based upon Montessori's scientific observations of these children's almost effortless ability to absorb knowledge from their surroundings, as well as their tireless interest in manipulating materials. Every piece of equipment, every exercise, every method Montessori developed was based on what she observed children to do naturally by themselves, unassisted by adults. Using scientific observation and the experience gained from her earlier work with the young children, Maria designed learning materials and a learning environment that fostered the children's natural desire to learn and provided them freedom to choose their own materials. Based on her observations and research at Casa de Bambini, Maria Montessori was able to put together a new method of teaching. In the year 1909, Maria conducted her first Montessori course to teachers from around the world. Therefore, the Montessori method recognizes 3 agents of education for children between 2.5 to 6 years of age. The first is the prepared environment. There should be sufficient room, space, and scope to work. Children must have the freedom to move about. The prepared environment should provide stimulation to choose. The second agent is the learning materials or the apparatus. According to Maria Montessori, children should get real-life activities to carry out, not to make-believe ones. All materials should be displayed within the reach of the hands and the eyes of the child. They should be displayed in the developmental succession. The third agent is the adult or the Montessori directress. She should be a trained, a pleasant person. Her duties are to establish a contact between the child and the materials, to ensure freedom for the children to choose, to work, to repeat, to observe children objectively, and to offer guidance only when needed. Oriya was 82 years when she passed away. Her work lives on till today through the thousands of Montessorians all over the world who are continuing with her good work. Education is a natural process carried out by the human individual and is acquired not by listening to words but by the experiences in the environment. A quote by Dr. Maria Montessori.
Now, as a part of our function,
Minus 5. 8 minus 5.
game show to entertain you. So let me invite our game show coordinator, Aishwarya ma'am. Welcome, Aishwarya ma'am. Welcome.
Thank you, Swaliha ma'am. A very warm good evening and heartily welcome to the game show. If we start the game.
Yes,
Everybody ready?
yes. Yes.
Okay. Then first game is roller pin and bangles game. Then this game needs a roller pin and many bangles. Then Sruti ma'am, Soni ma'am, Sensi ma'am, Vaishnava ma'am. Everyone ready?
Yes, we are ready.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then roller pin take and at the back. Then put the bangles with other hand. I will start. Start. Ready? 1, 2, 3, start.
Come on.
La 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 la.
Wow, Senti ma'am is going super. Who is that?
Wow.
Sure.
Ma'am also
Wow,
doing
wow. Up, up, come on, come on.
Super.
Come on.
Well playing, Sensi ma'am. Well playing.
Come on, Sruti ma'am. Up, up,
Finish.
You can do it. You can do it. Tuti ma'am.
Wow.
Wow.
Super, Sruti ma'am. Very Wow, super.
It was a tight competition between the directors and the delegate. Oh, and our talent team. Oh my God.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Wonderful. Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes, it's time to count.
Yes.
So
13.
Yes.
who is the winner? So exciting.
Yes, we are waiting for the winner.
Yes.
20.
Wow.
Wow.
20.
Yo.
70. 20. Wow.
Shruti ma'am 22. Wow. Wow.
It was an outstanding performance. Thank you, everyone. Then we are going to second game. Bread eating challenge. Then,
Wow.
Wow, that will be fun.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yes.
then to eat the bread without using hands.
Wow.
Oh, that's more interesting.
Who eats the bread first will be the winner. Everyone take bread slice on the plate. Jansi ma'am, Nauri ma'am, Anju ma'am, Swariha, KP ma'am, Pooja.
Wow.
Ma'am, how much slice? Oh, come on, everyone.
Come on.
Ma'am,
Pooja,
how much
ma'am.
Minimum 5
Swaliha, ma'am.
slices.
Wow.
Oh.
Minimum 5
Jansi,
slices.
ma'am. Pooja, ma'am. Swaliha, ma'am. Jansi, ma'am.
Okay, I will count. Ready? 1, 3, start.
Wow, Pooja ma'am started.
I've started.
Oh, yes, Sanju ma'am also started. Wow. I think they are not eat anything before.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
Anju ma'am.
Anju ma'am is
Anju
so
ma'am,
fast.
slowly.
Come on, Anju ma'am.
Slowly. Jansi ma'am also doing. Jansi ma'am also. Wow. Jansi ma'am. Nauri ma'am. Wow. Pooja ma'am.
Oh, Anju ma'am finished.
Anju ma'am finished. Yes.
Anju ma'am
Almost
finished.
one packet finished.
Anju ma'am.
Wow. She had good experience, I think.
Anju ma'am, no water, okay.
Yes, Jansi ma'am.
Hello, ma'am is also.
Hello, ma'am.
Wow.
Yes. Wow, Nauri ma'am, not use your hand.
Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond.
Who is the first?
Yes. Anju ma'am.
Anju
Congrats.
Good job, Anju ma'am.
Super. Yo.
Yo,
Super.
super.
Well done, ma'am.
Well done, everyone.
Yes. Very well, everyone. Then it is time to say goodbye to you all. Your presence made this day and program way more amazing and interesting for us. Thank you all once again.
Wow, great.
Wow, super.
It was
We
great.
enjoyed
It
a
was
lot.
great.
Wow.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, Aishwarya ma'am. It was really fun. We laughed a lot. Thank you so much. Now, we arranged a panel discussion with our respected directresses from different countries. So I would like to invite Nafia ma'am to coordinate the panel discussion. Welcome, Nafia ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Saliha ma'am. So, good evening, all.
Good evening.
As you all know, yes, as you all know, when you visit a Montessori classroom, one thing you might notice is that the classroom is organized a bit differently than the traditional classroom. The classroom materials are placed in different areas that correspond with the 5 curriculum areas. They are the practical area, the language area, the sensorial area, the math area, and the cultural studies area. So delegates, if you have any doubts regarding any of these areas, we have our Montessori directors present here to clear your doubts. So you may feel free to ask anything.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. That I have one doubt, no?
Yes,
That
sure, ma'am.
yeah, we would like to know how the practical life activities in Montessori provides the scope and sequences for everyday routines and practices.
Okay, so your doubt is regarding the practical life area, right? Okay, so we have the right person. Shema, ma'am, can you please help?
Yes, of course.
Yes, welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you for a good question. What I want to say is that we adults feel really happy and wonder when children imitate our daily activities. Though it seems easy for us to do those activities, but for the child, it is wondrous and new discoveries and engaging joyous challenges. This including the everyday routines and practices of life like preparing food oneself, cleaning, habitual courtesies, and more. Practical life activities are a wonderful way for parents to practice Montessori in home as well. That is, including your child to sweep the kitchen floor after supper with a child-sized broom, allow your child to cut fruit for the family breakfast. Young children can even make their bed and fold their clothes. It is amazing to see the important and big work our little ones are capable of. As Montessorians, we believe education is more than just academics. We aim to nurture development, not only the intellect, but the development of the whole child in an effort to prepare them for all aspects of life. These practical life activities help them living independent in everyday living. And yes, I want to say that Montessori is life preparation.
Wow.
Okay, thank you, Shema. I hope it is clear.
Yeah, it's very clear.
Okay, so as Shema ma'am said, practical life area, it is very important for children to practice the daily skills that are useful in life, even outside the classroom. And this will definitely provide the foundation for all other activities in the Montessori classroom. Thank you so much, Shema ma'am. So any other questions?
Ma'am, I have one doubt, ma'am.
Yes, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. What is the purpose of sensorial in Montessori?
Okay, so the purpose of sensorial activities in the Montessori.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
so we also have a right person here, Sensi ma'am. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much. So, senses are the capacitors of the central nervous system, which makes use of the tool called sense organs. Here, senses act as an agent to collect information. From birth itself, a child will be sensing some of the things around him. Later on, from schools and environment, he'll develop by doing more sensorial activities. So let's discuss the different sensorial activities in Montessori. It is categorized into 9 senses. The first one is the visual sense. So visual sense, it's by visualizing. So we are using our eyes. We are using pink towers, brown stairs, red roads, noble cylinders, colored tablets. All this we are using in our Montessori school in CASA BAMBINI, and we are developing their visual sense. Next, we are using the auditory sense. Auditory sense, we are using our ears. So for that, we are using sound cylinders, Montessori bells, etc. And for the third one is the tactile. Tactile, we are using our hands. With our hands, we are using different materials in the class. So sandpapers, the main thing is the sandpaper. From smooth to rough, they are studying each one. They are developing their fine motor skills, etc.
And next we have the olfactory sense. Olfactory sense is a sense of smell through nose. And for that, smelling jars are used. And next is the gustatory sense. It is the sense of taste, sweet, sour, bitter, and salt. Next is thermal sense. It's a scale. Here we are using the thermal box, thermic tablets, thermic bottles we are using. Next is the chromatic. It's all about the colors, different colors we are teaching to our kids by activities. So for that, we are giving color balls, color beads, color cards we are giving. And next is the baric sense. For baric sense, there we are teaching the different types of weight, heavy, light. For that, baric tablets are used for our kids. And the last one is the stereognostic. And for that, we are using the mystery bags for their development. So from all this, the purpose of this sensorial activities in Montessori is to help the kids to develop all the senses, all the areas of senses by observing, concentrating, and categorizing the materials. So I hope everyone understood. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sensei ma'am. I hope it is clear now, Rin ma'am. Okay, so as Sensei ma'am have already said it, in sensorial area of classroom, the child will learn to notice details like color, shape, texture, sound, weight, temperature. And she has already mentioned the 9 senses in Montessori. And the children are using these senses to learn about their world, to classify and categorize things. So thank you so much, Sensei ma'am, for your detailed explanation.
Yay. So now let's have some entertainment, right? Here we have Rasina ma'am with a beautiful song. So let's invite Rasina ma'am. Welcome, Rasina.
Welcome, Rasina ma'am.
Welcome, Rasina ma'am. Welcome, Rasina ma'am. Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. एक प्यार का नगमा है, मौजों की रवानी है। एक प्यार का नगमा है, मौजों की रवानी है। जिंदगी आज कुछ भी नहीं, तेरी मेरी कहानी है। जिंदगी आज कुछ भी नहीं, तेरी मेरी कहानी है। एक प्यार का नगमा है, कुछ पाकर खोना है, कुछ खोकर पाना है। जीवन का मतलब तो आना और जाना है। दो पल के जीवन से एक उम्र चुरानी है। जिंदगी और कुछ भी नहीं, तेरी मेरी कहानी है। जिंदगी और कुछ भी नहीं, तेरी मेरी कहानी है। एक प्यार का नगमा है, तू धार है नदिया की, मैं तेरा किनारा हूँ। तू मेरा सहारा है, मैं तेरा सहारा हूँ। आँखों में समंदर है, आशाओं का पानी है। जिंदगी और कुछ भी नहीं, तेरी मेरी कहानी है। जिंदगी और कुछ भी नहीं, तेरी मेरी कहानी है। एक प्यार का नगमा है, मौजों की रवानी है। एक प्यार का नगमा है, मौजों की रवानी है। जिंदगी और कुछ भी नहीं, तेरी मेरी कहानी है। एक प्यार का नगमा है। Thank you all.
Wow, super.
Wow.
Super,
Thank you.
wow.
Beautiful,
Great.
beautiful,
Super,
super.
Wow. Very nice, very nice. Wow, super.
It was really amazing, Rasina ma'am. Thank you so much. Now here comes Aishwarya ma'am with a beautiful dance. Welcome Aishwarya ma'am. Welcome.
Welcome, Aishwarya.
Welcome, Aishwarya ma'am.
Welcome, Aishwarya ma'am.
Super, super,
super.
Great.
Awesome performance. Super, super.
It was fabulous, Aishwarya ma'am. Thank you so much. Now, if you are ready to laugh, here we have Shema ma'am with her mimicry to make you laugh. Let's welcome Shema ma'am. Welcome Shema ma'am. Welcome.
Welcome. Welcome, Shaima ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for inviting me. The Centennial celebration of CASA. BAMBINI school as a chief guest. Thank you, everyone. And I like that Aishwarya's dance performance. It was wonderful. Kochi must be the old Kochi, but Bilal is not that old Bilal. We may poor, but not beggars. Yeah, Gus and Dinesh.
Wow.
Wow, you made us laugh. Hey, ma'am.
Wonderful performance.
Thank you all. So hope you all enjoyed their marvelous performance. Now going back to our discussion, Nafia ma'am, let's continue.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Swaliha ma'am. That was mind-blowing performances. So let's go back to our discussion. So delegates, any other questions?
Yes, ma'am. I have one doubt.
Yes, yes.
What are the concepts in address our Montessori math? If any connection for the math activity in our practical life and sensorial life?
That's a good question, Anisha ma'am. So we have here Girija ma'am to help you. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Nafia ma'am. Thank you so much. Actually, the Montessori math include the development of concepts such as numeration, place value, fractions, and the basic operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division using numbers up to 9,999. Okay, so both the practical life and sensorial curriculum play an essential role in indirectly preparing the child's mathematical mind. Practical life helps children to order their minds by presenting activities with sequential and logical step-by-step precision. The human mind is by nature mathematical. From birth, we learn the meaning of phrases such as how old are you? And we are living in 1 hour. And the capabilities of the mathematics mind are presenting in the mind of the child. And infant is able to understand the difference between one and many. A toddler is able to sensorily distinguish between small and large quantities. A preschooler is able to identify the symbols for new numbers and begin to physically quantify how many that symbol means. Numbers themselves cannot be easily defined, but come to be understood from experiences with concrete objects that eventually become abstract ideas. And Dr. Maria Montessori believed that children come to absorb mathematical concepts naturally. She recognized that there were specific sensitive periods in the child development whereby the acquisition of mathematical concepts were eagerly explored through repetition of activities with concrete. Scientifically developed didactic materials are the Montessori apparatus and scientifically designed by Maria Montessori. So Dr. Maria Montessori designed concrete mathematical materials to represent all levels of quantities and mathematical concepts after she observed that children who are interested in counting like to move items and they enumerate them in the Montessori learning environment. The children not only sees and learns the symbol for a number, they hold the quantity in their hand. For most children, the sensitive development period for learning mathematical concepts is between the age of 4 and 6 years. Through the Montessori curriculum area, practical life, sensorial, and mathematics, children experience the concept of order, measurement, calculations, numeric symbol recognition, counting, and exactness. There are 6 key skills areas within the Montessori mathematics curriculum, including numeration, for example, numbers 1 to 10, the decimal system, the tradition names, the arithmetic tablets, and the passage to abstraction and fraction. In order to help each child achieve their full mathematical potential, it is the role of the Montessori teacher to set up and organize the materials in a way that is progressive and sequential. Young Montessori students learn about precision and exactness by measuring how many water drop it takes to fill in a vessel. Example, ice cube tray and all. These practical life activities not only help children to gain independence, but also provide indirect foundation for higher level math skills. As children develop in the Montessori learning environment, they become ready to encounter more concrete mathematics materials that explore abstract thought, beginning with the quantity. Quantity is first presented to the child in the form of variables to avoid confusion. The Montessori teacher. The Montessori teacher will use the material such as the number rods in order to introduce quantities from 1 to 10. The red and blue partitions of number rods make the quantity countable. The number rods are then given a name and number. As the child works with the rods, they begin to realize that the first rod is the unit of measurement with which the other rods can be measured. In this way, Montessori students learn about the mathematics through their hands. As Dr. Maria Montessori said, this system in which a child is constantly moving objects with his hands and actively exercising his senses also takes into account a child's special aptitude for mathematics. When they leave the material, the children very easily reach the point where they wish to write out the operation. They thus carry out an abstract mental operation and acquire a kind of natural and spontaneous expression of mental calculation. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Girija
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am. It was very wonderful, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks for the detailed explanation, Girija ma'am. I hope it was clear, Anisha ma'am. It was regarding the math area. Yes.
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Yes, okay. So Dr. Maria Montessori knew a century ago that if mathematical learning is not part of child's early learning experience, then the numeral part of the mind goes undeveloped and learning math becomes much more difficult. And in math area, the child will learn skills that will help them master math courses later on. And I think one of the speciality of the Montessori apparatus is that the control of error lies within the material itself. That means the child will be able to correct themselves and they will be independent. So thank you so much. Any other questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Delegates. Yes, ma'am.
How does the Montessori environment aid the child's language development?
Language development. Okay. So here we have our Rintu ma'am. Rintu ma'am, welcome ma'am.
Thank you, Nafia ma'am. Thank you for calling me.
Yes.
First of all, I am very happy to be the part of this centennial function. So, how the language development happens in the Montessori environment? I think I will explain through a presentation. Language is a means of communication, ideas of feelings by the use of conventionalized sounds and signs, thus being the spoken and written language. Montessori language materials are designed primarily to teach children the intricacies of written and spoken language. Importance of language in Montessori. Montessori observed that children have a thirst for language and communication. Communication allows the child to express her needs and ideas to others. Through language, we are able to cooperate, collaborate, receive knowledge, and pass knowledge to others. Montessori language materials. We all know we are using lots of language materials. The first one is sandpaper letters. Actually, the sandpaper letters is to teach the child sounds of the alphabet. The children can able to trace the letters and register their mind. That helps to the sandpaper letters. And the indirect purpose of the sandpaper letter are preparation for reading and writing. Then the next one is metal insets. The metal insets is the tool used to prepare children for writing. And this helps to develop their fine motor development. So they are starting to use the pencil grip and starting to write. They will be developing the fine motor skills. And the children can able to preparation for writing. When they are using the metal insects, teach children to develop their pencil grip, refine their motor skills, and learn how to draw within an outline. The metal insects indirectly allow children to practice concentration and order with work and master. in their material. Then the next one is vocabulary cards. Montessori vocabulary cards sometimes referred to as three-part of matching cards. Here, the children developing mastery with identifying letters and their sounds. Children move on to match cards consist of an image. Then the movable alphabets. Movable alphabets is one of the important material in Montessori language materials. Here alphabets, they can go the ability to analyze and recognize graphic symbol for phonetic sounds. The children can able to understand the language phonetic symbols to the children. Then the next one is rhyme cards. Rhyme cards are good example of a wide set of Montessori material. Rhyme cards explore the relationships between words. Each set contains the exact members of each pieces needed so that students can self-effort. Then the sentence building cards. Sentence building cards are used to help children identify the different parts of speech. Then we can look at what all are the activities we are giving in Montessori classes for developing their language. The first one is I Spy. I Spy is a Montessori language activity that helps children identify the initial sounds of words, small objects that are used with this activity. Then the next one is object matching. Object matching is presented with the object a child is familiar with. This activity helps develop visual discrimination and classification skills. Then the next one is matching object and pictures. In this activity, children match object to corresponding picture cards. Visual discrimination and vocabulary are developing here. Then the matching rhyming object. Small objects are used with this activity. Matching rhyming objects help children's awareness of the sounds of words. And the preposition vocabulary. This activity helps a child understand the concept of spatial relationships. The term preposition is not introduced the children with this effectivity, only the concept. Then the command cards. And some more activities are like sequencing picture cards, writing material metal insets, sandpaper letters, large and small movable alphabets, reading pink material, command cards, blue materials, grammar symbols. These are some of the language activities we are giving to the children. So, thank you all. I think it's clear for you, ma'am, how we are using language development happens in Montessori environment.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Nice
Thank you. Thank you, Rintu, ma'am. That was a wonderful presentation. And I hope it was clear, Shruti, ma'am. So in language area, the child is being introduced to learning about the letters, the phonic sounds and reading. The goal is to increase listening skills, comprehension and vocabulary. So, and Rintu ma'am has already mentioned the activities, language activities that can be given in Montessori. Thank you so much, Rintu ma'am. Yay. Yes. So let's go back to our discussion. So we have already covered the 4 areas of Montessori. So we are left with the cultural area. And delegates, do you have any doubts regarding this area? Anybody?
Yes, Navya ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yes, Pooja ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. What is the culture according to the Montessori? What are the reason of our cultural subject in Montessori, ma'am?
Okay. Okay, thank you, Pooja ma'am, for your question. We have Biji ma'am here to help you. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Pooja ma'am, for a wonderful question. A very warm good evening to all. At first, we want to know what is culture. Culture is one word, the way of life for an entire society. It may be behavioral of people or climate, home, food, clothing, language, ways of life, beliefs, customs, art and music, etc. These are passed from generation to generation. If we look more closely at the work of the students are doing in the classroom, we can notice that they are using different materials and completing separate works from one another. But also, they are practicing a variety of skills from different subjects areas. At the same time, one student might be coloring a picture as the students next lays out a puzzle map of Asia, and another will be experiment about melting an ice cube. We can witness the interaction of the cultural curriculum inside the classroom. Through geography lessons, children become aware of where they live in the world. Here, they study different people and their cultures. These lessons include how people have adapted different climates, their homes, clothing, food, and customs. Through continents and cultural studies, children learn about the interconnected to all life on the earth. Through zoology lessons, children learn about the variety of animals, different types of plants in each group, their features, the names of their body parts, and their habitats. Children categorize and dividing them into groups of living and non-living things. Through botany, they learn the names each part of a tree, leaf, and flower. Coming to the conclusion, working with the materials helps children to become more observant of the characteristics of things that grow in their own environments and in the world. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Vijay ma'am. It was very clear, ma'am.
Thank you, Biji ma'am. Thank you. So, as she has already mentioned, the cultural aspect of Montessori method include the subjects of geography, science, botany, zoology, and history. Even art and music are also included. The child will learn to appreciate their own culture and even other cultures in this area of classroom. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, delegates, for asking the doubts. And thank you so much, Montessori directress, to clear their doubts. Thank you for joining the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you all for the detailed explanation about each learning area that we are following in a Montessori school. Thank you once again. So now it's time for some more entertainments. And here comes Soni ma'am with a beautiful dance. Welcome, Soni ma'am. Welcome.
Welcome, Soni ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome, welcome.
Wow.
Wow, super.
Super.
Wonderful, wonderful performance.
The marvelous, Sony ma'am.
Super, Sony ma'am.
It was a fabulous performance, Sony ma'am. Thank you so much. Now, here we have Vijay ma'am and team with an exciting skit. So let's welcome Vijay ma'am and team. Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Dear friends, in today's modern society, we come across lots of changes. In all the sphere of life, among them big differences that we see. And experience is that the generation gap. When we say this word called generation gap, we would all agree. Oh, yes, I have good with my parents. I have experience with my grandparents. My parents never give me freedom to do what I want to do. Do we still feel the generation gap? Do the children think the same way? Let us watch the skit, Me and My Freedom. It's a skit by 37th batch of students of Ncdc. Here, narrator as Vijay, Naurin as student, Sony as mother, Sony as father, Swaliha as mother, Sensi as teacher, students as Selmi, Naurin, and Aishwarya. Scene 1. Naurin's house. There is Naurin's father, mother, and Naurin.
Mummy, my breakfast.
Oh, my little buddy. Why are you so late coming from the bed?
Mummy, didn't you wake up me up? I got up late.
No, it's your duty to wake up fast, okay?
Naurin plays with a ball. He bounces it and runs around the room.
Oh, due to late, your brother is also not wake up. Then the bus came fast. You didn't do anything. What is this, Nauri?
Naurin stops playing with the ball and getting ready.
I didn't wake him. Is that my mistake? He takes hours to wake up and finish his daily routine. 20 minutes for just getting up from the bed and 10 minutes for brushing and half an hour for bathing.
One reached. Naurin took the bag and ran outside.
Oh, look, he has left his ID card here.
Father rushes out with the ID card. Scene 2. Narrator in the classroom. Teacher entered into the classroom.
Good morning, my dear children.
Good morning, ma'am.
Now, let us pray. All stand up. Join your hands. Take a deep breath in. Slowly breathe out and repeat after me. God, come be with us today.
Come be with us today.
Fill our hearts with joy.
Fill our hearts with joy.
Fill our minds with learning.
Fill our minds with learning.
Fill our classroom with peace.
Fill our classroom with peace.
Fill our lessons with fun.
Fill our lessons with fun.
Fill our friendship with kindness.
Fill our friendship with kindness.
Fill our school with love.
Fill our school with love.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, God.
Before starting class and introducing a prayer, children develop teaching gratitude, improving focus, self-reflection, building trust and faith and discipline.
Okay, I'll sit down. Now we are going to learn some magical words. Okay, are you ready?
Yes, we are ready, ma'am.
Ready.
When we want to someone to help, what do we say? Please, please, please. When someone help us out, what do we say? Thank you, thank you, thank you. When we make someone cry, what do we say? Sorry, sorry, sorry. Did you all like this rhyme?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
What did you learn from this?
We learned when to use please, thank you, and sorry.
Yes, very good. So, this is a story time. Now, I'm showing a picture.
Yes, ma'am.
I am ready, ma'am. Can I?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Okay. Once there lived a cat. He had no friends. Then one day the cat was walking along the road. Suddenly he saw the dog. The cat was afraid of the dog. He turned to run away. But the dog called him, "Wait a minute." The dog came running to the cat and said, "Happy Christmas." And they both became good friends.
Wow, superb story. Very good. Keep it up.
Thank you, ma'am.
Did you all like the story?
Yes, ma'am. We like the story very much.
A child through trying to narrate and listening story, strengthening the word power, promote brain development, imagination, emotions, develop language, and strengthen relationship, and children feel empathy with the characters. This ability to learn from stories is a skill that will help our children throughout their lives.
Next, this is a snacks time. Everybody, take your snack box and sit on the chair.
Everybody took their snacks box and sat on their place.
All take out your napkins and spread the napkin on the table and have the snacks with spoon and fork. Without wasting food, everybody finish your snacks. Tell me, what did you bring for your snacks?
I brought oranges, ma'am. I love oranges very much.
I too love orange and especially it smells very tasty.
Yes, oranges taste and smell. Both are good. I love both.
All brought different types of healthy snacks like fruits, sandwich. Through the snacks time, they understand and feel the tastes and smell of different things in the nature.
Can I work with the pink tower, ma'am?
Yes, you can. You can go and work.
Everybody started taking learning materials from the shelves, whatever they want. Children started selecting their learning materials like pink tower, geometrical shapes, movable alphabets, and Play-Doh and building blocks. Some started making models of animals and letters through Play-Doh. Some tried to place the geometrical shapes to proper place. After half an hour, bell rang. Everybody back to their home. Freedom within limits is a core in Montessori concept. For parents that are new to Montessori, some parents may also be concerned that the absence of rules will lead to bad behavior, but some parents are not at all aware of that. When we give freedom to move, freedom of choice, freedom of time, freedom to repeat, freedom to communicate, and freedom to make mistakes, children become respectful members of their classroom, community, and society. Through real life experience, students learn that freedom is choosing to do what is best for themselves and others. In conclusion, freedom within limits teaches children how to become independent and confident learners who respect the rules of their freedom. According to Maria Montessori, let us live the life free to develop within the limits of the good, and let us observe this inner life developing. This is the whole of our mission. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. Super, super, super.
Wow, it was a wonderful performance, Vijay ma'am and team. Thank you so much. Hope you all enjoyed this day, and it's time to wind up our function. Let me thank you one and all who all are joined here with us after receiving our invitation and made the event a grand success. So let's wind up our function by singing the Indian national anthem with great honor. So I request Naurin ma'am to sing the national anthem.